Hello Vault Heads, this is the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. Welcome to this week's episode of Captain's Commpod, where we are going to talk about the token creatures of the new house Ekwidon, and which one I think is best in order of least competitive to most competitive. I think all of these four cards are good. I kind of struggled a little bit deciphering fourth, third and second, but I thought second was noticeably better than fourth, which is why I managed to come up with where I'm at. So we're going to start with fourth place, and in fourth place I've put Strange Shell, which is power 1, armor 4, beast. Strange Shell cannot fight or reap. Action, put Strange Shell into your hand. Okay, Strange Shell also comes with Molluscola, which is a power 4 creature with 4 armor, and says after reap, for the remainder of the turn, each friendly Strange Shell gets +3 power and loses all abilities, meaning it would then be able to fight or reap. As I say, I think all of these are good. I really like the way this is designed. I think the design of it is good, and I think it'll be fun to play. But I'm not going to let my bias get in the way of whether or not I think it's competitive. So, you can't fight with it and you can't reap with it unless you had another creature in play, ready and able to reap. That's not ideal. Then, action. Put it into your hand. Now that's good because obviously you know what it is. If it's a card that's not worth having in your hand, you're not going to put it into your hand. But equally, if it's a card that's not worth having in your hand and you don't put it into your hand, you don't do it. You're not going to do anything with it. You can't fight with it. You can't reap with it unless a Molluscola has been down and reaped with the Molluscola. And again, your opponent is going to really work hard to kill the Molluscolas. They're not going to work hard to kill the Strange Shells. That's one of the plus sides about it. With 4 armor and an inoffensive ability like can't fight, can't reap, your opponent is not going to be working hard to kill these things. But it's going to do nothing unless you've got the Molluscola. And also as well, even if you do want to put it into your hand, if it's not an Ekwidon card, you can't play it that turn. I mean, I like it, and it's a really new way of archiving, but if it's one of the other 2 houses, you pick it up, you're stopping yourself draw. If imagine it's your Mass Amber control card, if there is a Mass Amber control card, or your board wipe, and you need it quickly, but it's not Ekwidon. Well, you're still going to get it, but then you're going to clog your hand, and then next turn, well, this turn, at the end of your turn, you're going to draw 1 less card for every one of these you put into your hands. So I really ummed and ahed over this one and the next one as to which one was in fourth. But for me, it's this one because it's the slowest of the 2. And it's not going to advance your game state. It's going to advance your hand. It's going to allow you to save cards for later, because I do think these things are going to be sticky. I don't see them as that much of a threat, and I don't think people are going to be that eager to kill them. But the fact that it can't fight or reap, and the fact that there's going to be turns where basically they just sit there and do nothing because you don't want them in your hand and you haven't got a Molluscola out, is why this one's gone into fourth. So yeah, great design. Think it's going to be a lot of fun as a card. But out of the 4 Ekwidon creatures that we've seen, the 4 Ekwidon token creatures that we've seen, I do unfortunately think that this one's the worst. So yeah, Strange Shell at 4. Which brings me to third. So in third we have Diplomat, which is a 1 power creature with no armor. It has Gatrukia and Politician. It is elusive, which I like. And it says after reap, each player gains 1. And like I say, I ummed and ahed about this one and the last one, because the last one has cards that a lot of the time you're not going to be able to use, and you may not want to put them in your hand. This one, I mean, so it advances your board state. It advances, well, it doesn't advance your board state, it advances your game state. It earns you amber, and it earns you more amber than normal. Every creature normally, when it reaps, gains 1. This one, when it reaps, gains 2. But it also, when it reaps, gives your opponent a piece of amber, which I do not like at all. So I've got 5 of these out, ready. I can reap for 10. I can reap 5 times and earn 10. My opponent's got 1 amber, and I've got no way to take them off check. Can I reap with this 5 times and put them in check? No. I mean, I can reap 4 times and I'll gain 8, but they'll still gain 4. I mean, they won't be in check, but do you really want to reap for 8 and give your opponent 4? The giving your opponent an amber, I really don't like. I like it more than the other card. I like it more than the Strange Shell in terms of it being competitive, because it does bring you closer to winning the game. It earns you amber, it brings you closer to winning the game. Also as well, the elusive is going to help it stay around a little bit more. But equally, I look at this one and I think, how hard is your opponent going to be working to kill a creature that every time you reap with it, they gain 1 amber as well? And it's like, with it being elusive as well, I could see these being a little bit sticky. This is one of the reasons why I was looking at the Mars creature that says reap, deal 1 damage to a creature. I thought was so good because of how many 1 creature tokens I think there were going to be kicking around in this set, like this boy or girl, because it doesn't say. Yeah, I really don't like the exchange of amber. I mean, reap for 2 is brilliant. The elusive helps it stay around. The fact that it gives your opponent a point of amber is probably going to help it stay around as well. Like I say, I don't think this is going to be top priority kill target of the creatures on your opponent's board if you're playing against this. But yes, the reason why this is 3rd and not 2nd is because it gives your opponent a piece of amber. And the reason why it's 3rd and not 4th is because it at least earns you amber and gets you closer to winning. So yeah, Diplomat is my 3rd most competitive. And then that is going to bring me on to what I've put at 2nd. So in 2nd place, I have put Trader, which is again power 1, again 0 armor, again it's a Godrukia, and it's also a merchant this time. And this one says action, steal 1, destroy Trader. So A, it takes amber away from your opponent. Steal 1. Brilliant. Amber control. Amber control is always worth having. Sets are always going to need amber control. Houses are always going to need amber control. If you open a deck and you see this is your token creature, and you've got a token creature that is action, steal 1, destroy it, you're not going to be too disappointed. B, it can fight and it can reap. So you can reap with it and gain 1. You're not going to give your opponent 1. You're not going to want to steal with this every time. And you can fight with it, which means you can pop elusives, you can pop wards, and also as well in this set, how many creatures are power 1 with no armor? We've talked about 3 token creatures so far in this set, in this house, in this set, and only 1 of them has not been 1 power and no armor. And as well, the next one's 1 power, no armor as well, spoiler alert. So 75% of the tokens in this house would be killed by 1 power. It's one of the reasons why I put the Mars token creature that says reap, deal 1 point of damage top, because in Winds of Exchange, how many creatures are going to be on the board permanently with 1 armor, with 1 power and no armor? Well, 75% of Ekwidon token creatures. It could be across the set as high as half. So fighting for 1, dealing 1 point of damage is going to be so much more useful, effective in this set than it is in every other set thus far. It really is. So you can fight with it, you can reap with it, and you've also got amber control. I mean, the one before this was slightly stickier because I think this is a bigger target. The last one, reap, you gain 2, they gain 1, and elusive. Is your opponent really going to fight to kill that creature? Whereas this one, action, steal 1, destroy it, Are they going to fight to get rid of this one a lot more? Yes, they are. This is a much bigger target. This is not going to stick around as long as either of the other two Ekwidon Token Creatures are. It's really not. But I think it's a bit more valuable. Like I say, the first one, I think it's going to slow you down a little bit too much in terms of it doesn't earn you amber unless you have the accompanying card down with it. And as well, you don't want to put cards into your hand that aren't cards that are going to be played that turn. The last one I really don't like, the fact that it gives your opponent amber. This one, it's a much bigger target. It doesn't have elusive. I don't think it's going to stay around as long, but the fact that it can fight, it can reap, and I can steal with it as an action, I think it's the best one of the three that we've looked at so far. So this is my second place card. That's going to bring us on to the first. And I didn't think this was a contest, to be fair. I looked at this and I thought this was just the best one outright. So, Prospector, power 1, no armour, destroyed, draw a card. Oh, love it. So, I can reap with it, I can fight with it, and if it gets destroyed, I draw a card as well. Brilliant. I mean, again, what was I saying a moment ago? How many creatures in this set are going to be power 1, no armour? You run a Prospector into them, you kill one of their token creatures, and you draw a card. The other reason why I like it, I've put it in first, it also works on your opponent's turn. It doesn't say destroy, draw a card if it's destroyed on your turn. So if I put 5 of these down and you board wipe me, thanks for the 5 new cards. I mean, literally, when you see this across from you, you don't want to kill it. You don't want to destroy a card that puts another card into your opponent's hand. It's great. It's one of those cards that it's like, it goes down and I don't want to kill it. Nobody wants to kill Infernus when it goes down, because by killing it, you give them the chance to exhume it or not finish with you it. The only reason you'd ever want to kill Infernus is if you know they've got Hysteria in the card pool, because they can put it back into the hand and play it again. This is a great example of a card that nobody wants to kill. I mean, it's not massively powerful either, so it's not like it's going to be difficult to kill. I would imagine it's going to be really quite easy to kill in this set. Like I said, there's a Mars token creature that reaps and does 1 damage. Lots of token creatures able to fight and deal 1 damage. But it gives you the chance to advance your win condition, as in gain amber by reaping with it. If your opponent is building tokens that are a problem, like say blobs, and you're worried about them looking like they can get a key, or you think your opponent's 1 power token creature board is becoming a problem, you can do something about it. If it's not 1 power token creatures, then obviously you can't do as much fighting with it, but you can fight to pick wards, you can fight to pick elusives, you can fight to kill 1 power token creatures. You can go digging. You need a card in your deck, and you've got just kill them all, fight into something and kill them all. Because I imagine as well that if your opponent's got something down, it's probably going to kill this. So the fact that you can choose to purposefully kill them just to start digging through your deck as quick as possible by drawing cards, to me, this was noticeably the best. The other 3 were a little bit close, but this one won, and it wasn't a contest about this one winning. I looked at this and I thought, this is just the best. So yeah, my most competitive Ekwidon Token Creature is Prospector. Over to you. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What order would you have had them in? I'd love to hear why you think I'm wrong or why you think I'm right. You can get in touch on Twitter, Facebook, email, all that good stuff. Please feel free to like the video if you like it, or subscribe or follow via podcast. However you're consuming this, thank you for staying to the end. I appreciate it. If you are going to KeyForge Celebration, enjoy it. I'm in England. I haven't got £2,000 and 4 days off work at 2 weeks' notice, so I won't be there. But I wish everybody who's going the best of luck. I hope you enjoy it, and I will be watching as much as I can. And finally, may the forge be with you.